Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Atira binti Ishaq. I am from J4 ECM367. So, I'm going to present to you about personal protective equipment, which is PPE. Let's move to the introduction of personal protective equipment. PPE is a personal protective equipment commonly referred to as PPE. PPE can protect us from injury that can cause by hazard that we may face in the workplace. It is our last line of defense against getting hurt. Therefore, it must be worn correctly and be fit for purpose. All personal protective equipment should be safely designed and constructed and should be maintained in a clean and reliable fashion. It should fit comfortably and encouraging workers to use PPE. Let's move to the types of common PPE. There are several types of protection. Firstly, we go to the head protection. The first common types of PPE is safety helmet. Why we need safety helmet? This is because there is a higher chance of possible head injury due to falling debris, overhead electrical hazard, or fixed object someone could bump their head into. What is the specification of safety helmet? It must be in a good condition, be a good fit for each individual, and be worn properly and inspected by the safety officer to ensure that it is safe and reliable to use. Next, let's move to the body protection. The first item of body protection is protective clothing or reflective vest. So, why we need to use protective clothing or reflective vest? This is because high visibility PPE helps protect workers in high traffic areas from being struck by any vehicles. They also can provide resistance against fire hazards or projectile hazard. The next body protection is safety belt or harness. What is the use of a harness? Harness distributing forces safely across a worker's body in the event of a free fall. A harness can provide freedom of movement sufficient to allow the worker to effectively perform their job. And harness manufactured from different types of fabric webbing. Next is leg protection. For the leg protection is commonly used PPE is safety shoes. Why we need safety shoes? This is because the bones in the foot are easily damaged and it can protect against crushed tooth due to heavy or falling equipment or material. What is the ideal safety shoes? It is the steel toe caps because it can protect from drop objects and still meet sole protection to against puncture or penetration wounds from stepping on sharp objects. Let's move to the eyes protection. The next common types of PPE is goggles. So, why it is important to wear goggles? This is because construction sites pose significant eye injury risks. So, the workers face a myriad of hazards including flying nails, wood splinters, metal fragments, or final particles such as dust and gift created by cement mixing, sawing, or chipping. Next, we move to the face protection. The common types of PPE is face shield. What is face shields? Shields are secondary protection devices that help protect the whole face from various hazards. Why we need a face shield at construction site? They provide wider coverage to protect the face, protect the worker from chemical splashes or spray, and protect the wearer from optical radiation or sparks in welding. Next, we move to the hand protection. The hand protection commonly used is hand glove. What is the purpose of contraction hand glove? It is cover and protect the hands from the wrist to the fingers, save the user's hand and fingers from unnecessary wounds such as cuts, blisters, splinters, skin punctures, or heat and chemical burns. Hand glove, also known as a safety glove or protective glove. Next, we move to the hearing protection. The common types of hearing protection is earmuff. What is earmuff and why we need it? Earmuff is type of personal protective equipment (PPE) that is used to protect the wearer's ears from excessive noise pollution. High levels of environmental is harmful for the people working in a construction site. Noise can cause mental stress, poor cognitive function, and temporary and permanent hearing loss. The next hearing protection is earplugs. What is the pros of earplugs? They are inexpensive, light to carry around, and wear and great in all weather. Did you know that continuous exposure to even air guns or regular construction machinery is enough to cause hearing loss over time? And lastly, we move to the lung protection. The last common types of PPE is respirator. What is respirator? Respirator designed to protect workers from inhaling hazardous dust when properly used. Workers are often encounter hazards such as dust, gases, and vapors. Some respiratory hazards such as carbon monoxide can make someone unconscious or even kill within minutes. Now, let's move to the contraction site hazard. There is several contraction site hazards, which is working at height, slip, trips and falls, airborne fibers and materials, and lastly, noise. Let's see the working at height. What is the risk of exposure working at height? It can cause working at height as the most common cause of fatal injuries to workers. Workers can fall from ladders and through fragile surfaces such as fall through a fragile roof. What is the suitable PPE? We know that all the workers need to wear the fully set of PPE, but for the working at height, the suitable PPE is safety belts and harness. The second site construction hazard is slips, trips, and falls. What is the risk of exposure? Construction sites often have uneven terrain, buildings at various stages of completion, and unused materials. This can cause injury to the workers. What is the suitable PPE? It is a safety shoes and, of course, full set of PPE. The third construction site hazard is airborne fibers and material. What is the risk of exposure? It can cause damage to the lungs and lead to disease such as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, asthma, and silicosis. It can cause eye injury if the dust enters the eye. What is the suitable PPE? It is respirator and goggles. The last construction site hazard is noise. What is the risk of exposure? Loud, repetitive, and excessive noise causes long-term hearing problems such as deafness. Dangerous distraction may distract the worker from the task at hand, and it can cause the accidents. What is the suitable PPE? Earplugs and earmuff. And lastly, we move to the conclusion. In conclusion, construction is hazardous without knowledge, and deadly injury can occur due to no safety measures, which is indeed dangerous. If no proper PPE followed, it might cause a delay in projects and loss of human power in a construction site. It can leading to waste of time and can cause the project delay.